What's up guys, Americana back here with another video. And in this one, we'll be updating on the current range in Bitcoin and Ethereum, where the liquidation levels lie above and below this range, and what happens when we break either one of these levels. We're also going to look to the stock market and see where those indices lie within their current range. So let's go ahead and dive into the video. All right, guys, pretty straightforward update here on Bitcoin and Ethereum. The same thing goes for both of these ranges. They pretty much look exactly the same as of late. If you guys have been following my videos throughout this range, you would know I am open to the possibility of sweeping these lows and forming some sort of bullish divergence, right, on the higher time frame. Some sort of bullish divergence in here with price as well as my custom indicators. That obviously is one possibility and what is likely going to happen if we do sweep or close below this range here. Now, what I am open to as well would be a reclaim, really holding in this above this range, I should say, and then being able to move up from there. And this would be the V bottom type of scenario when it comes to finding a conclusion to this range as well as bottoming structure on Bitcoin. Now, when I say bottoming structure, it's also important the larger context of where I think Bitcoin is within this cycle, bear market, whatever you would like to call it. I'm kind of pulling from other videos in here, so do make sure you guys check those out as well. We've mentioned it many times that it's highly likely, it's how I'm betting my money, that Bitcoin is in some sort of bottoming structure in here. And when I say bottoming, macro bottoming structure, we even have an instance right here of this sweep coming in, right, where we see bullish divergences show up between the indicators again. So we pretty much have every scenario accounted for. I've mentioned it in other videos. If you're not allocating to the market right now, if you are down and you are not DCAing lower, I do think you will be regretting that decision in the next 6 to 12 months. This doesn't mean it's going to be a brand new cycle when this thing does kick off. But again, that's a topic for another video. So those are my two scenarios on here. If you guys want to see it again, break above this green line here, hold structure above, and kind of just V bottom out of here to new all-time highs, or go sweep this low, potentially, I don't know how low it's going to get, 55, 50 kind of area, form that bullish divergence, and then potentially that be it for the cycle. I did say we would look at some liquidation levels here just to see if these numbers are a real possibility. Do we even have liquidity to go below this range or potentially go above? Obviously, I think both are true. That's why it's kind of just a wait and see game. But I do want to give you guys the larger context of this is a great time to be allocating to the market. Okay. Apologies for coin glass being so laggy, but in this 55, 50K area that we have down here, I don't know if you guys are able to see my cursor, but towards the bottom of the screen, we have a decent amount of liquidity. And then we also have some up to $95,000. This is the 3-month chart that I have here. Let's go ahead and head out to the 6-month chart. And what I'll do on here is actually make these lines a little bit brighter when we look at the yearly chart, and you guys will really see kind of a little bit better where that skew is at. So some pretty hot areas in here, around $98,000, 107, up to like 116. And these were levels that originally in this range you were looking at pretty closely. And there still is liquidity up there. So that's good to see. Obviously, again, that 55, 58, 50K area showing up in here. But let's go ahead and zoom out to the yearly chart as well. This is why I say both of these are real possibilities. You can actually see pretty hot at and above the all-time highs. Little gaps in here where we've had this recent leg down, and then again that 50 to 55K area is showing up. Now I do want to show you guys as well this on like a 0.5 setting, just so you can kind of see a little bit more vividly where some of that liquidity lies. In this video, we're not getting into my overall thesis. This is just kind of a nice little update to show you guys where everything stands as of late. All right, guys, and I will include this. This is actually going to get its own video. But like I said, I did want to quickly run through this because we've talked about Bitcoin's current range. The stock market is currently in a much longer range, all the way back to September, October of 2025, depending on which indice you're looking at. Okay, the good thing about a range is it gives a lot of time for these overheated indicators to finally cool off. And that's kind of what I want to point out across these indices. So we're currently looking at the S&P 500 right here. To me, obviously, going into last week's close, Friday, you can see on the candle here, everybody freaking out, freaking out, freaking out. Not that we're in the clear just yet, but the range has not broken, right? The overall range, right? Most recent area that we've flipped and held as support hasn't been broken through quite yet. We've also reached oversold on daily levels, similar to what we look at on Bitcoin, right? So that's this level in here, this level in here. It's actually a lot harder for the stock market to get this oversold just because it's a much bigger vehicle. It has a lot more flows than crypto, but just marking out some areas, obviously COVID, where we've had this same level of oversold get flashed. And this is across every indice. So we'll just go ahead and show the S&P 500 here. Like I said, I want to save some stuff for those other videos. Just as people are getting bullish or bearish on Bitcoin, they're definitely bearish on the stock market. Okay, we can even show this in here. Fear Greed Index on the U.S. stock market at a 16. Okay, last week still in extreme fear at a 21. A month ago in extreme fear, 36. And then a year ago around this time, tariff stuff obviously kicking off, still in extreme fear. So very fearful times. We'll talk about that again in the stock market video. But just know everything is currently in a range. Some things are at range lows, which contrary to popular belief is actually where you're supposed to be buying things. I'm getting too much into this stock market video I'm going to be talking about, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully you guys found that insightful. If you guys do have questions on anything that you saw in this video or my overall thesis, do make sure you let me know in the comments. I have a free newsletter in my Discord. I'm really trying to push that out. So if you guys can go ahead and sign up for that, drop your email in there, that would be huge. And I also have a link to my free Discord in there as well. I appreciate you guys as always. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.